The first piece I need to sew to the background is this circle. Before applying this circle, I like to baste the seam allowance down to make it easier to deal with. So in this one I've already basted, and you can see that the seam allowance lays flat. So when I go to sew this or applique this on, I don't have to put this down and work around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to baste this. Basting stitches are usually long stitches, about 1/2 inch to 1/4 inch, that temporarily will hold this in place. So when I'm finished sewing, I'm going to pull out these stitches. I'm not going to do it on this one because I'm not finished with sewing. These stitches don't have to be perfect since I'm going to pull them out. So since this is a curve, I need to keep my stitch length about 1/4 inch, because if I make it much bigger, if I stitch about 1/2 inch, then the fabric tends to come up. So I'm going to start off with a single strand of thread. I don't have to knot it because I'm just going to pull it out, but sometimes I find it easier to knot the end because I pull the thread out before it's ready to go. So I've put my knot in, and I'm going to pick this up. I'm going to fold this down with my thumb. I'm using the paper as a guideline, and I'm going to bring my needle through. So I'm going to push this down with my right thumb, hold it with my left thumb, and then I'm going to start sewing this. So I'm going to work my way around, pushing down with my right thumb, holding with my left thumb, and I'm going to stitch. So I've pushed it down with my right thumb, I'm holding with my left thumb. The reason why I'm using white thread is because it makes it a little bit easier to see, and also I'm using white thread because there's no dye in this thread. A lot of thread is not color fast, especially old thread that I have a tendency to want to use when I'm basting because I want to get rid of it. So the reason why we don't notice that thread is not color fast is because often we're matching the thread to our background, and when the dye rubs off, it's the same color. So you just want to make sure that if you're basting things and you leave those basting stitches in a long time, you want to have a thread where the dye is not going to rub off. So I'm going to continue like this, sewing all the way around till I've completed this circle. So I've got something that looks like this, and I'm ready to applique that to my background. In the next video, I'll show you another type of basting that uses a glue stick instead of thread.